if you missed the program yesterday, but if you supported Ron Paul for president last year or a third-party candidate, law enforcement is now maybe on the lookout for you. A new government study was just conducted to help authorities identify domestic terrorists. It warns that militia members most commonly associate with third-party political groups. Oh, so you're cool if you vote for the Republicans or the Democrats. But if you're concerned about the government, you're considered dangerous now in America. More than 160,000 Americans have already signed up to be part of our 912 project, 912project.com, since we launched it a week ago. 163,000 people have signed up. Who are these people? They're people just like you that are just concerned about our government, and they're concerned about our country. You know, are they militia members? Yeah, sure they are, along with all the other people that are now on the Tea Parties nationwide. There's one here in Orlando, Florida, tomorrow that's supposed to be huge. And Thomas Paine, one of our founding fathers and the author of Common Sense in the 1700s. Paine led Americans to take back their country. George Washington read Thomas Paine to the guys as they got into the boats to cross the Delaware. His pamphlet sparked a movement that established the independence of the United States. And now he's back, this time on YouTube.
What would have happened in 1789 or 1942 or 9/11 if a top government official stepped in front of the people and publicly proclaimed America was a nation of cowards? He would have been run out of the country on a rail, packaged in tar and feathered at least. But that's what happened in 2009, and you did nothing. Have you become a nation of cowards, America? In the greatest show of arrogance and disdain any Congress ever showed any citizenry, your dysfunctionally elite, self-interested, none-representing representatives passed the largest spending bill in history without reading it, and you did nothing. You want them to obey your constitutional mandate and secure your borders, and they ignore you. You ask them to enforce your immigration laws, and they ignore you. You say stop the madness of handing $300 billion of a bankrupted treasury to illegal alien welfare, rewarding them for making a mockery of your laws, and they ignore you. And now, in open defiance of the overwhelming will of the people, are preparing more amnesty programs. You say stop exporting my nation's vital industries to foreign shores, and they ignore you. You say no to using your money to bail out failed, corrupt, and greedy businesses, and they ignore you. You say implement the E-Verify system so American jobs go to American workers, and they ignore you. If your self-serving Congress were a business, they'd all be in jail now. The biggest traitors among you hold elective office. Only when they feel the almighty wrath of we the people marching in the streets from California to New York, shouting we're mad as hell and we want our country back, will they get the message they work for you.
Who is this guy that is racking up millions of views on YouTube? The Thomas Paine of the 21st century, his real name is Bob Basso, and he's with us now. Bob.
Aloha, Glenn. Aloha no kaukoka hakiaka me pomihana. Originally from Hawaii, and that means we thank you, Glenn, for wearing the riding boots of Paul Revere and alerting America that we're at the most critical time in the history of this country. One citizen salutes you, my friend.
Thank you, sir. I have to tell you, Bob, I saw somebody sent this second video to me. They posted it at the 912project.com, and I looked at it, and I think it had about 3,000 or 4,000 hits when I first saw it. This was just a couple of days ago. It's now at 250,000 views. Your last one did 2.5 million views. You did it when George Bush was president, so this is not a partisan issue. Who are you? Why are you? This is strong language. Why are you doing this?
I'm a blue-collar kid from Brooklyn, New York. Daddy was the fire chief of New York City. I lived in the worst of times and the best of times. It was World War II. I remember Pearl Harbor. I remember the night before, on December 6, 1941. 79% of Americans said we want no involvement in World War II. But then they bombed our backyard, and 2 million Americans forgot about being a Republican or Democrat or black or white or gay or lesbian. or right of center or left of center, and they became Americans. And as a little boy, I remember what a good feeling that was. It was a feeling of fear and loss. We were going to lose America. But we found out very quickly, and I remember as a little boy seeing how the country pulled together and what strength we had as a country when we finally got to the real power of America, which is not the far left or far right, but the middle of America.
Let me tell you something, Bob. This is exactly what that's why I named it the 9/12 Project, because I experienced it the first time in my life on the day after 9/11. I've only got a couple of seconds here with you, and I've got to ask you this question. The
No,
message you're sending,
terrorist.
you're not calling for anything armed, right? You're calling for people just to rise up and let their voice be heard. Are you concerned at all about being branded a militia member, treasonous, anything like this?
No, I'll just write a letter to my mother and explain her the truth. To answer your question, Glenn, yes, we need an event, and you're part and parcel of that event. This tea bag has become a national symbol. It's one thing to moan and complain about what's happening in America, but we have to find an event to go beyond politics and become Americans again. And this tea bag, symbolic of the original Boston Tea Party, is becoming the symbol in America of protest. How dare you, my government, pass the largest spending bill in history, and you don't ask me, the American citizen, for my input. We have something going here. America is finally being brought together. The key is, can we continue it? And may I just say that I just got a call from Congressional Security, because Mr. Payne said in his video to take a letter and to address the envelope to your representative and put the tea bag in. Congress is being inundated by tea bags, and they've told me that they're throwing them away because there may be a controlled substance in this tea bag. Yeah. So please, those of you who will send it, throw this tea bag away and just put the handle in the tea bag, and they'll get the message.
Okay. Bob, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Now, we're going to switch gears here. They were jailed by our government for bravely protecting our border, while illegal aliens who turned them in got a deal. The first on-camera interview with Ramos and Campion, the two border guards, next.